My name's Lindsay. I'm in charge of the family finances and I've done a bad job and I'm admitting my sins right now. Okay, we're going to start with the credit cards. I'm really nervous. At the top of the list is Apple. I owe $9,005.39.
Well, we are definitely off to an interesting start. $9,000 to Apple. No way that's subscriptions, right? No way. Maybe she bought a laptop and had to finance it through Apple. Maybe that's what it is. Cause whoa.
Next on the list, we have my Amex card, $1,472.73. I hope you heard it. I'm going to write it on the screen, but I'm sweat. Mind you, I just paid that one off last month.
Ooh, almost $1,500 on her Amex card. Maybe she's using that one for the points. I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, y'all, because she just said she paid it off last month. So that's a positive sign, I think, because some people get the points, use their credit cards specifically for the points or to achieve the points to then redeem them later, but pay it off every month. You get what I mean? I'm hoping that's what she does. And it's not just like, she was drowning in debt and then just finally paid it off last month just for her to run it back up again and be in a debt cycle.
My Amazon card, $526.78. None of it was spent on Amazon.
Now, y'all gotta get me hip to the game. What else is an Amazon card used for? Okay, I did some research and it looks like you can use an Amazon card on Amazon.com as well as places like Whole Foods. I never knew this. According to CNBC.com, it says if you're looking for a rewards card, for example, the Prime Visa offers an incredible return of 5% cash back at Amazon.com, Amazon Fresh, and Whole Foods. Very interesting. And if any of y'all have an Amazon card, please let me know, do y'all use it as a regular credit card? Because now I have questions.
And I just paid that one off last month too. Okay, moving on to the debts that I accrued the last time I said I was gonna get out of debt. You should get a debt consolidation loan and it'll pay off all of your credit cards, boost your credit score, and you'll pay it at a lower interest rate. And I said, that sounds like a great idea. So on that loan, I still owe $23,000.64.
Woo, okay.
Okay, next we have our cars. So on the road that we've had for a long time, we still owe money. So we still owe $4,774.49. We bought that one like 7 years ago.
7 years ago. I get nervous when I hear people say that they're still paying on a car for like 7 years because in many situations, do you know you can be paying double what the original cost of the car was? Sometimes triple in 7 years. Just because of the interest. It is such a freeing thing to not have a car note, y'all. I don't wish a car note on anybody. I really hope she's able to pay that off fast.
On the van, which we bought last year, we still owe $21,078.16.
For a van? Wait, that's a separate vehicle. $21,000 for a van. Maybe she's a soccer mom. Look, the soccer moms be needing a vehicle, but this is a lot. It's so hard. Even watching people talk about the debt that they're in, but honestly, it is so common. It is so common nowadays. These numbers, to some of you watching, you might be like, oh, my car note is $40,000. There are people that owe $40,000 for a truck or $60,000 for a truck or a car.
And then on top of that, we have our student loans.
Oh my, it's just getting worse and worse.
So I owe $33,302.61 and my husband owes $33,159. All of this for a whopping grand total of $126,383.16. This is going to be a really embarrassing channel for a while.
I don't think this is embarrassing. I can understand where she's coming from though, because of how the internet is. I'm not saying debt should be normalized. I don't think it should be normalized. We should normalize financial responsibility, financial literacy, financial education, so people don't end up the cloud of debt just hovering over their lives. But is this common more times than yes? Absolutely. Absolutely. She's just being honest about it. If we're being honest here, quite brave.
So if you want to feel really good about yourself and watch me either pay off this debt or get more in debt, because that's what I like to do apparently, follow along.
Can I tell y'all something? I've reviewed and seen so many videos like this, and one of the things that a lot of people say is like, if you want to feel better about your debt, then watch my debt story. And it's like, my problem with that statement is, let's use the example of, say you owe $50,000, right? Say you owe $50,000, but you're watching somebody else who owes $500,000. That's their total amount of debt. Does that make your $50,000 less draining? No. But looking at somebody else's situation, you might say, oh my gosh, at least it's not this. It's still bad. It's still crippling. It still has a hold on you financially. And then we also have to think about the other factors, like how much money you have coming into your household. You also have to consider things like what type of job you have, what type of support system you have. Do you have children? Can you move in with your mother? These sort of things vary from person to person. So when people kind of just make that statement of like, just look at my debt and this should make you feel better about yours, I'll say this: comparison is not a good metric to measure your financial success as far as debt goes to where you want to be in life, especially when you're comparing yourself to a situation you don't want to be in. You know what I mean? I'm all for using a financial story to motivate others. And I'm not saying that's not what she's trying to accomplish here, but I strongly dislike the whole look at me so you can feel better about yourself concept that's attached to a lot of these videos. Because I understand how a lot of people watching these videos are thinking. I feel they would look at this and say, you know what? My debt is normal. Like, it ends up, in a sense, sometimes normalizing behaviors that might be unhealthy because they can look at you and just say, at least I'm not that bad. And the truth is, both situations can still be bad. They can both still be bad. Because even though you may get a temporary boost in your self-esteem watching somebody else at a low moment in their life, in order for your life to have the results you want, it's going to require long-term change if you're in debt. It's not enough just to look at a video like this and be like, I feel better. Yeah. And what does that do? Honestly, if we're being honest, what does that really do besides give you that quick dopamine hit of like, you know what? I'm not that bad. But what I will say is, I don't see anything wrong with these videos articulating the point to many people in these situations that they are not alone, because that is the truth. However, I don't think these videos should be used as a measuring stick for your overall success compared to somebody you don't know. You should want to have the best possible results for you, regardless of if you saw this video of her or not, because deep down, you want what's best for you and for your future. You don't have to always look at somebody to be like, oh my gosh, I'm doing better than them. You see what I'm saying? And I still like what she has going on, but I just think that part needs to be said as well, because it's something that I be thinking about more and more when I watch these videos. And here it is again. She says, hope this makes you feel better about yourself. How much debt are you in? LOL. Instead of it saying this, I wish that it said, I hope this makes you understand you're not alone and many people are struggling with the same thing that I am. You know? Now, someone here says, meh. The world is on fire. Nothing's affordable. You're good, queen. It's all made up anyway. And she replied with, I'm still going to work on this debt, but yeah, things would probably be more affordable if I didn't buy dumb stuff and waste my money. And there's the accountability. And this is an important step in the process of being better financially than you were when you were in debt. Because a lot of people, when they dig themselves into these rough debt cycles, that they struggle with identifying the things that got them into that situation. You know, the problem. And I'm glad that she can be honest about it. It's going to do nothing but help her in the future. And somebody here replied to that person saying, this is a bad mindset, but as long as you don't have kids or plan on having kids, then it's only to your detriment. Who gonna tell her? Who gonna tell Miss Jessica? There are people with children who have this exact mindset. They don't care. The child being here is not making them care. They feel how they feel, and unfortunately, there might be some collateral damage, because unless they want to change and understand that they may be digging themselves into a hole, there ain't nothing you can say. There's nothing you can say. I have seen it in real life. There is nothing you can say. And this comment here is interesting. It says, maybe someone else should be in charge of finances. I honestly forgot that she said she was in charge of the finances and that she was failing and all of these things. But this is a great point to touch on. If you are in fact the person in your household in charge of the finances, you have a big big responsibility. And I don't know if that's talked about enough, but typically, if you're married, one of the spouses is typically better at finances than the other. And I don't see anything wrong with that. It's just like with anything. There may be other tasks that one of you is just better than your spouse. But if finance is the thing that you excel in, what I will say is this: the execution of the financial plan in many cases can make or break the marriage. It can make or break the marriage, because a lot of people end up in divorces because of money, because of finances. Not saying that's what's happening here, but I am saying it happens a lot. And it's sad. A lot of people are like, no, we're in love, it's enough. I'm telling you, relationships get really, really real when people think that they're going to be out on the streets. One person might be okay with that, the other one might not. It is a big deal. If you are the person in charge of the finances in your relationship, a budget is not even a negotiable. Unless you're rich, maybe you don't need a budget. And even if you're rich, you still need to have limits. See, a budget is just limits, y'all. Even if you're rich, if you're a millionaire, can you go out and spend over $1 million if all you have is $1 million? No. Doesn't mean that you don't have money. It just means that you have limits. You can't go spend 2 million when you only have 1 million. Limits, moderation, boundaries. These things keep you safe. Same can be said on a smaller amount of money. Whatever money, when you all come together, that you have collectively or however you do it, it needs to be allotted so you don't go over your boundaries, so you can stay safe, so everybody can be flourishing, so you won't be drowning. Nobody wants to see y'all drown. Nobody wants to see anybody drowning. And this is how you avoid it. And you know what? This message carries true whether you are married or if you are single. If you are single and you're struggling with your finances, you too need a budget. You don't all of a sudden get married and then you're just great at these things. Sometimes it's muscle memory. It's like when you go to the gym, the more and more you do the exercise, the easier it's going to get. But if you're not used to doing the exercise, and by the exercise, I mean the budgeting, guess what? That the times where you try for the first time, you're going to feel weak. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt because your body ain't used to it. Get your mind used to the action. So when you add somebody else to the equation, it's easy. It's easy because you've been doing push-ups, you've been doing pull-ups, and then they looking at you like, wow, you're really good at this. And then you hit them with the been good. And they're wondering how, who taught you? And then in your head, you're just like, practice, training, muscle memory. That's why it's called muscle memory, y'all. I'm getting too deep. Now, she's responding to a comment that says, that's not bad if your household income is $300,000 or $400,000 per year. That is a great point, which is why I was saying there are other factors and other variables to consider when you're looking at somebody on the internet and you're just like, whoa, my situation ain't that bad. There are some people who post things like this and they are making $1 million in a month. They are. And they will get on social media and be like, I'm going to post this large amount of debt so you can feel better about yours whole time. Some of them are making what you make in a year in a month, in 2 months. $1 million might have been an exaggeration, but you get what I'm saying. You never know. I'm not sure if that's the case for her, because I don't think too many people just want to keep their student loan debt if they could just afford to pay it off. But y'all get my point.
My original video definitely blew up in a way that I did not expect. Yeah, my debt of $126,000 is not bad. If I was making $300,000 or $400,000 a year, turns out I'm not making that much. I am a teacher and make jack diddly squat. Okay.
And shout out to the teachers. Y'all got to deal with some interesting kids in today's society. My.
I bring home about $3,400 a month. I do make more than that. I pay for mine and my kids' insurance, and I have 403B and just whatever else comes out of a teacher's paycheck. And my husband brings home about $3,200 or $3,300.
And honestly, they're sitting around what the average household income makes between what her and her husband makes. Actually, I went to the official website for the United States government to get better details on this. This is the United States Census Bureau, and it highlights the median household income in 2024 was $83,730. Not too far off from the year before. Now, it hasn't updated quite yet on the official government website, but not too bad, depending on the factors. She did say there was a child, I believe, which brings up the conversation we were having earlier, the other factors that are added into the equation can really make a big difference when we're talking about how much people are bringing in and why they may even struggle to get out of debt.
Dollars a month. So we bring home, it changes sometimes, so we bring home anywhere from like $6,700 to $6,900 a month, which I realize doesn't seem like a lot to a lot of you, but that's to me. But clearly not enough for my spending problem. So I'm about to go over some of the stuff I spent money on. So come back.
Oh, yeah. And I'm glad that she said that. She said for her, it's a lot of money, but just not enough for all of her debt. Not for all of the other things that have been added onto her life. And I think this is true for many people. It may not even be that they don't make enough money. It's that everything else that has become a life circumstance or a debt makes it seem like they're not making enough money, because all of the money, as soon as it comes in, is going out. But if it didn't have to go out, then you probably feel like, man, I'm doing pretty well. You know, if there wasn't the car notes, if it wasn't the consumer debt. In some cases, it can be daycare, it can be medical. For many people, it's student loans, getting garnished out of people's paychecks. Some people, it might be makeup, it might be gambling. The list goes on and on. And it's like the less things that you have ended up becoming a circumstance of financially, the better. That's what it seems like.
Okay, a lot of people commented, what the heck did you buy from Apple? Because I have an Apple card with a balance of over $9,000. Okay, like $9,005. Apple, it's just like a regular credit card through like, I think it's Goldman Sachs or something like that. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Goldman Sachs, yeah. And they have basically just made it really easy to take my phone and go tick tick, and all the money is gone. So great.
What? What did you just say? They made it very easy for her to go teek teek, and now all the money is gone. Somebody break it down to me like I'm a 5-year-old. What does that mean? It just goes tink tink. Is she talking about like tap to pay? Oh, I'm not hip to the game. Ma'am, I love your glasses, by the way, but you got me so lost right now.
And don't ask me how I have such a large balance. It's been years. I will go over the last 2 months of spending, which I already have firsthand embarrassment over what I've spent money on, because it was like nothing. Like I have nothing to show for it. I mean, I have a couple things, but nothing crazy. So anyways, let's start with June. So in June, I bought a random family grocery for $67.32.
Can I just pause this to say I love this? She bought a random family groceries. I'm not mad at this. I know a lot of y'all gonna be like, I know she's in debt. I feel like, yes, sometimes you gotta put on your life vest before, you can help others. I do love to see people have a heart. And I think the world needs more kindness. And until you do something like this for somebody, a lot of y'all might not understand why I'm saying this, but I just think it's great to be a blessing to others, But man, we want you out this debt, because this is this was a kind-hearted thing to do.
I did spend money on Fandango, so the movies, $10.81, Papa John's, $20.18, Netflix, $9.73, Too Good to Go. It's like an app where you like buy things that they don't want to throw away, $6.48. The Stand store, because I hyperfixated on something and I needed to know more about it, $97. I spent too much time on my phone, so I bought a brick. It worked. It saved me, I just got it yesterday, okay? $66.14.
What is a brick? Wait, it says a brick is a small matchbox-sized physical gadget designed to help people curb their smartphone addiction by creating a physical barrier to screen time. Not only do I think that some adults might need this, but the kids, or I don't know, some of the adults probably don't want the kids to have that. They probably want them to have that constant access to a phone, so they leave them alone. But I actually think this is great. I don't see this as a bad purchase. This is an investment this is borderline self-care, maybe? Can we be honest about the fact that some people are on the phone and addicted like it's Krenak? They can't help it. And don't think because I'm saying this that I too haven't struggled with this. I be looking at my screen time. I get alerts now to make sure I'm not doing too much. I'm not trying to do too much, because even when it comes to researching topics and stuff, it still can have these effects. Bravo to you, ma'am. I just feel like you did what you needed to do in this case. That was money well spent, in my opinion. Because the time that you're going to have from not just scrolling or whatever else might be going on your phone, I'm all for it.
And then here's the embarrassing part. This is where I spent money on a game that I downloaded because I was bored and I stopped taking a certain medication that has and the withdrawal symptom is insomnia. So I've been playing this game at night and spending money on it. So 1190, 648, 865, 648, 648, 648, 648, 432. Yes, I did do that.
I'm just hearing somebody that was struggling, and I really feel that she's trying to do better with the brick. I think that's probably why she brought. Is that why she bought the brick? And then she also has trouble going to sleep. I will say this, it's hard to go to sleep when your brain is stimulated. Now, I'm no doctor, and I know that people toss and turn, but the stimulants are keeping people awake. Sometimes the phone is the stimulant. This is why it's important when you're trying to get rest, you gotta put the phone away. Like, even if you gotta just lay there, that's better than stimulating your mind and then whatever else you might end up putting in your cart at 11:59 on Amazon and buying tokens for a game. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a domino effect. After certain hours, there's nothing good that's going to happen. You just need to unplug. Lights out. I'm glad she got the brick though. I'm glad she got the brick and she's working on it, y'all. See, one thing we have to remember when we're watching these videos is not to bash people for being honest about what they're struggling with. We all struggle with something. It is okay to be a work in progress. It really is. Because you got to start somewhere, or else you just keep doing the thing that you don't want to do. I appreciate her honesty.
Okay. But there's no other months where I've done that. So we're going to call that one a win. And I deleted the game. And then Cinemark, I have a subscription, but I canceled it. It was $11.90. And then I spent $36.80 taking to my kids to the movies for the first time. And then I already told you the Disney solitaires. Grand total for June, $398.21. Anyways, my cousin's in the background, sorry. Okay, for May, this is actually a little bit more embarrassing, I think. May, I was working. I'm a teacher, so I was off. I was off during June. But May, I was at work. So I spent $156.54 at H-E-B at the end of the month, probably when we were like out of money. Okay. Circle K, 85 cents. Netflix, $9.73. I'm thinking about canceling Netflix. And then here's the problem. I spent so much money at the vending machines at work, which makes me think I should go buy a vending machine and just get into more debt so that I can make money. See, this is the problem.
I'm kind of with her, but baby steps, man, baby steps. Because now you're talking about being a business owner if you have a vending machine. And oh my, the amount of businesses that don't go as people think it's going to go is not even funny. It's actually not funny. I'm not saying this to deter anybody. I'm just saying if you understand the amount of businesses that are even profitable in the first year, I don't know if most people would even do it, let alone 5 years out. Not saying it's a bad idea, but when you're a business owner, you have to be okay with not being profitable, losing money, losses, high shipping costs, high product costs. You just have to be ready for any and everything to happen. It's very unpredictable. And I'd say, if you're a person that's okay with that and understand the risks or understand, hey, this might not even go the way I want, I might lose all of my money, and you're cool with that, hey, then entrepreneurship don't sound too bad. The thing is, a lot of people don't see that as a possibility, and then it's here. And then they're making TikTok videos telling us about how they lost 30 grand, 40 grand. And now they're trying to use credit cards to make up for that. And they still had bills and they had all these other things. Just something to consider, y'all. But girl, a vending machine might not be bad.
Okay, 325, 225, 230, 325, 225, 230, 225, 225, 325, 325, 230, 325, 325. The guy, I saw him refill it. And I'm pretty sure I was the one that I definitely bought it all.
I mean, whoever owns the vending machine that you're putting all this in, I'm sure they love you. As a business owner, I'm sure they love you because you're helping them out. You are. An alternative may be just going to the store and buying whatever you're getting from the vending machine, because clearly the vending machines have a lot of people in the chokeholds. They are in shackles. And I think if a lot of you all are honest who have this issue of going to the vending machines at your job or even going to the gas station every day, there are certain things that you may be able to get a lot cheaper just going to the grocery store. You know what you're going to get. Just get the Red Bull from the store. Go to Sam's Club, Costco, get it wholesale if you can. Stay out the vending machines. They're charging you almost $4 for one little thing of bubbly. There might just be a better way. There might be a better way.
Anyways, then we have Papa John's. Me, 78. My kids love Papa John's. It is what it is. Okay, and then I bought stuff for my garden from Northern Tool and Equipment for $97.40. And I've been using it, and it's been making me happy. So I'm not gonna worry about that one. Okay. Circle K, $5.42 was probably drinks and something. Papa John's again, $38.70. That was probably for the whole family. Okay, circling back. Then I donated $100 to someone's GoFundMe. All right, and then I bought a bed frame and a mattress off Wayfair. Yes, I know Wayfair's bad. I'm so sorry, but I couldn't afford anything else. $497.09, but you'll be proud of me because I did pay that one off. Like I did put the money from my bank account into it. Okay. And then I had a $139 interest charge. So altogether with the interest charge last month, May, I would have spent $1,124.33, but I did pay $700.
Now, the reason I wanted to play this all the way out is because a lot of you all are like, I should be able to have my little things, right? It's not hurting anyone. It's not enough to make a big difference. And there were a few larger things like the bed thing that she bought, or maybe the block that she got for her phone. But all those other little things, right? That could easily be $100. And I'm pretty sure it's probably anywhere between $100 to $500 for those other little things that she was naming that a lot of people don't pay attention to, but they add up. And let's just say it added up to $500. How many hours do some of you have to work to get $500? And if $500 isn't a lot to you, give it to me. Just give it to me, since it's not a lot. And you see how you're like, Symone, absolutely not. Then to you, I would say, why is it so small to you when you add it up and that's the numbers you're getting? Math is math. I don't make the rules. You don't make the rules. The facts are just the facts. If you open up your bank statement right now and you say, Symone, I just get little stuff, and you add it up and you're at $800 for little stuff. The fact is this, you had to work, or you're going to have to work in the future to obtain that $800. The reason I said you might have to work is because some of you don't even have the $800. You have used a credit card, and you may have the belief that because you have the credit card that you have the money. You don't have it. You have the illusion you have the money. Who has the money is the credit card company, and you are borrowing it from them. So when you're borrowing it from them, future you must now clock into work to pay them back. Because why? You have monthly expenses. These are non-negotiables. You're going to pay that first. You're going to pay your rent first. You're going to pay your water. You're going to make sure your kids eat. You're going to make sure you have groceries, that you have gas in the car. Rightfully so. And when you're done with all of that, you're going to look and say, I don't have no money left. And to that, I would say, you might be right. And then you think to yourself, where am I going to get the money if I don't make more money every month? Well, eventually, the only way for you to pay back money that you shouldn't have used for something you may have not needed to work overtime, or make more money, or cut away from the things that are your non-negotiables. That might be hard though. Is it pretty hard to cut away from how much you're paying on rent? Absolutely. A lot of people are struggling because they are facing rent increases. Is it possible you can move somewhere, lower your means? Absolutely. Do you want to do that? Are you ready to get a rental? Are you ready to move out to make sure you can pay back the credit card companies and keep up with inflation, the cost of living, all of these things? Point I'm trying to make here is, what are you willing to do? Because you're going to have to do something if you bury yourself into debt. That's why it's dangerous to do that, especially when you don't want to make more money. That's just the truth. If you are a person that does not want to have to go out and make more money, and you love getting things you can't afford, you're asking just to be in debt if you keep swiping the card. The budget is going to be your best friend. It really is. It really is. And it's so simple, but so overlooked. It's such an underrated concept to spin within a window or say, something gotta go. Something gotta go. Can't get my hair done no more. Gotta do it myself. I can't get my nails done no more. Gotta do it myself. Can't have somebody mow the grass for $60. I gotta do it myself because it'd be but sometimes that's what it takes.
So it's only like $425. That's better, right? But I did open up this card in 2021 before I had children. And I noticed that the debt started crawling up whenever I had kids.
I'm so glad she said that. I'm glad she said the quiet part out loud, because I be saying this often. Kids are expensive. And y'all can sit here and believe the propaganda that you should just pop out babies and not consider the fact that they are expensive, and you're probably not going to have help. Probably not going to have much help. So all of those additional expenses that come along with children, it's on you. It's on you. It's on you. And she's not complaining. She's just bringing up the fact that she had to spend more money because she had children. If you are somebody who is struggling to get by with just you, maybe Consider what this woman is saying. If you add another person into the equation, it might be harder. It's not impossible. It may be harder to overcome some of these hurdles when it comes to reaching your financial goals and getting out of debt, because children they're just expensive. Daycare, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Daycare is like rent. And don't get me started if you have more than one child. Oh my.
So, and I initially used it to buy like a $3,000 mattress that I still use and love because I was co-sleeping, and don't come at me for that. That's not a part of this. Okay. And I needed a bed that was compatible with co-sleeping to follow the Safe 7 or whatever they call it. So anyways, yeah, roast me in the comments, guys, because I spent like, I don't know, $1,600 on nothing.
Oh my, not the thumbs up. Oh, not the thumbs up. And that's how fast it can go. Honestly, I didn't hear much that she spent it on, but I'm sure the same could be said for many people. They're like, I don't know where my money is going. If you just do what she did, do the same thing, it'll all make sense. And you're like, dang, I really do be at the corner store a lot. I didn't even notice. The credit card companies love when y'all don't notice. And the companies and businesses that you're giving money to love when you don't notice. You're just throwing your money away. They love when you don't notice it. They notice when they're receiving it. It's a business. Imagine if you treated your finances like a business and you tracked all of the money coming in and you tracked all the money going out. Because that's what businesses do. They do that. All of that money you're giving to whoever or wherever, they're tracking it. They be looking at month over month, year over year. And meanwhile, unfortunately, many people are just mindlessly spending. They actually are. And this is why I talk about these sort of things often, because with social media and how people are showing how they mindlessly spend, it makes me feel society has become a bit robotic when it comes to their hard-earned money. And it's quite scary. But once you wake up, you can defend yourself. You can't defend yourself against something that you don't know is a problem. So these videos help spread awareness. And I'm glad she made this because it shows exactly what I'm talking about. It shows it. I don't think she deserves a roast in the comments. Instead, I'll just praise her for being honest.
Okay, but before the behavior change, let's talk about what I spent from May 29th to now on my Amex card. Okay. So starting at the top strong, McDonald's, $7.01, Lowe's, $4.98, McDonald's again, $11. Then I had a dermatology appointment, $103.50. Worth it though, because clean bill of health. McDonald's again, $9.02. I'll explain the McDonald's thing later. Don't judge us. United, which is a grocery store, $5.39. HEB, another grocery store, $42.55. Lowe's, $12.08. Chick-fil-A, $14.15. Walmart, $52.13. Take 5 oil change. Gotta get my oil changed on my car that I pay enough for. $152.43. We'll talk about that later too. Goodwill, $16.18. United again, grocery store, $7.28. Had to get gas in the car, obviously, $54.16 to fill up. Valero, probably had to get a drink, $4.46. Actually, we went on a trip. Walmart again, because we were going to a family reunion and we didn't have anything we needed for our kids. So $369.61.
The family trips can get expensive, but they definitely can be incorporated into the budget. Especially if you're a family that likes to take a trip randomly, I definitely think having that money set aside, when you're out of debt would be a good thing. Because the amount of people who go into large amounts of debt for vacations or quick trips, it can happen fast. It really can.
Pet supplies, $95. I had to go to urgent care, $60. Goodwill again, because I love a good Goodwill trip, $39.80. I did get a lot of stuff though. Dollar Tree, because I love Dollar Tree, $11.91. And then Academy, $310.59. Because I decided I wanted to start running and my husband was dead set on the fact that I needed new running shoes. So I went and bought some. And while I was there, I also got my kids some shoes. And then I got some running clothes. Not expensive ones. Like it was like $10 shorts, stuff like that. But the running shoes were very expensive. So yeah, that's my Amex card. It is time for a behavior change. So this is me admitting my sins and then hopefully never doing this again. On the plus side though, this card has 0% interest rate. So I'm not paying any interest on this. So I will be paying this probably after my other cards. Oh well.
Ooh-wee. And she posted this a day ago. She says, this is actually ridiculous. Then she says, Were you as dumb as me? I don't think she's dumb. I don't think she's dumb. She's aware of what she's doing and that she needs to make a change. So I don't think she's dumb. I think this is a great comment though. Start using the payoff of the debt as your dopamine hit, opposed to buying stuff you may or may not need. Every time you want to go to Dollar Tree or Goodwill, make a payment on the debt. Man, if people did that, the credit card companies would be out of business because we live in such a consumeristic society. It would just shake everything. It would just shake it. But we also need consumerism to an extent, because that is how society flourishes. This is how people who have businesses are able to make money and live and things like that. So I'm not against any of these things. I think that it is still important though for consumers to have limits, because those limits keep you out of bad situations where you're trying to figure out how to pay off a credit card from the month before and you don't know what you spent any of the money on. The boundary is for you. This comment here says, confessions of a shopaholic is the only thing that comes to my mind. Another saying, charging McDonald's is wild. No judgment. You are not alone. It is crazy though. I agree, because what is really happening is with a lot of people who are using credit cards to buy things like fast food is months later, you're still paying for a Happy Meal, a double cheeseburger. Like when you really think about that, if you left the balance on there and you got charged interest, not only did you eat some food that probably wasn't the best for you, but they're charging you the cost of a cheeseburger with interest. McDonald's ain't never been that good. Chick-fil-A ain't never been that. I can't name a restaurant that is just worth paying interest on months after I ate it. Like the taste, I can't even imagine the food, but that is what is happening. Like it gotta be some really good food for it to be worth spending money on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months later, sometimes years later, because y'all have to remember, when we're talking about consumer debt, all of those little charges that people be making, they add up year after year after year after year. People are paying for cheeseburgers that they ate 10 years ago. Still, it ain't been paid off from 10 years ago. And if that don't like shake you to your core, I don't know what will.
Okay, my last credit card is my Amazon card. So I'm going to commit the sins of the past and we're not going to do it again. Okay, so I want to preface that most of these things were groceries.
Now, remember I was saying earlier, I didn't know what she put on her Amazon card. Y'all, tell me why this is all of the stuff. It equals $578. United, which is groceries. Walmart, she spent some stuff for her pets. Sprouts, McDonald's, gas, Amazon, Chick-fil-A, Bahama Bucks. Now, I didn't even know you could use an Amazon card to do all of this. That's really what I wanted to point out here. And I'm not encouraging any of you to do that. Actually, I'm just yapping. I don't even give financial advice. Let's make that clear. But Amazon, do we need to dig into y'all? Because I didn't know that Amazon cards were used as actual credit cards at these various places. Like you can use an Amazon card at Chick-fil-A, Bahama Bucks. That's the place where you get the smoothies and the shaved ice. This is crazy. And I appreciate her for opening my eyes to what is going on with Amazon, because there's no way I would have known this. I'm over here thinking she's just using Amazon on Amazon and maybe Whole Foods. No, this is wild. She's replying to a comment that says, would you be open to sharing the interest rates you have on the cards in the different cards? And I want to know, especially the Amazon one, because I didn't know that was a thing.
So on the debt consolidation loan through SoFi, I have a 14.49% APR. On the Amex card, I have a 0% APR. I don't know what it's going to be after that because let's face it, I don't remember and I didn't write it down. On my Amazon card, which is a Chase card, I have a 25.74% APR.
There it is, 25.74. This right here is what keeps people swimming in debt. They're not paying off the principal and they get hit with 25.74% every month. Sometimes compounding.
On my Apple Goldman Sachs card, I have a 19.49% APR. And then I have two vehicles. The one through Ally Auto has a 6.49% APR, and then the van through TD Auto Finance is 8.29%, which is pretty freaking high. So anyways, these are my debt sins.
And I know she has 0% on one of her credit cards, but y'all have to check the rates on those, especially when there's 0% APR. When they do introduce the APR, you definitely want to know what that's supposed to be. And usually it's sent in a welcome packet from the credit card company in the fine print. In the fine fine print, y'all. Please read it. Don't just hear 0% APR and be like, I'm good. It may be useful during a certain time period, but you want to make sure you understand the full terms and conditions. Also, ask them, when does your billing cycle start and when does it end? Ask them what your credit limit is. Understand that you don't want to max out a credit card, because doing so can affect your credit, and you want to have a credit card utilization that is low, single digits preferably, but low in every amount. And each card, depending on what the credit limit is, depends on the max amount that you should spend to keep your credit utilization in that single digits. Some people have higher credit limits than others, which is why I'm saying this and why you need to understand these things. We talk about credit utilization on this channel over and over and over because it's important. And when you overutilize credit cards many times, you max out a card and then you're looking to max out another one, and you apply for another one and you max that one out, and you get another one, you max that one out, and then you end up in debt cycles. And I don't want to see that for none of y'all. I need to know what y'all think about all this down below. Was there any part of this video that you saw and you thought to yourself, you know what, I have a lot of these same habits? Did watching her video actually make you feel better about yourself and your debt? Do you have any debt at all? Because if you do, I know one thing: we have to start making better decisions today in order to have a better future.